What is going on, Big Blue Nation? Away, 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 away. My goodness. What did you think about that game, dude?
Um, I just think incredible.
Were we not? We were in tears. We were we, we were emotional after that fear shot. And what I tell you,
We were gonna give it to away and come back.
I told you, I said, always going to make this bucket for us and we're going to win. We don't need to freak out. We are going to be okay. I don't know if I believed it. I said it for you, but guess what? It happened. There's no doubt. Double O, our guy, player of the game, twice. He just breaks the hearts of the Boomer Sooners. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. It should have never gotten that way. It should have never even been that close. We had a lead that we had. You can't turn the ball over like that. But another gritty performance from the boys, and to win that game and to do what Mark Pope said of how important the tournament was to get a win to get us through the first weekend or get the first game to get us into Friday. Tomorrow's going to be tough. Let's not worry about that. We watched the whole game today. We are up way past bedtime. This is questionable parenting, but we'll talk about that later. What did you see in the game, buddy? Let's think all positive. We'll talk about the sad stuff later, but the positive parts of Kentucky playing.
Um, I would say we did great on offense for
That first stretch, right?
the 11 and 0 run for the
The first 2
2 minute.
minutes of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's. I thought the same thing. I thought they were gonna. That run is exactly what needed to happen. You come out there and you smack them in the mouth early. Um, to be honest, though, they came back and they stayed in that game. I credit that to the game changed when Lamont Butler left. But again, we're going to focus on the positive stuff right now, right?
hmm
But yeah, they came out firing. They looked good. I thought bigger than the offense was how connected they were defensively. Like that team looked different defensively. And if Andrew Carr is going to be swatting shots like that in the paint, it's dangerous. I wish all of our bigs did that. We see some, you said in there, it's like, why is Amari falling back instead of going up?
yeah.
I think he's scared to pick up some cheap fouls, but yeah, Andrew Carr was different defensively. We said it. OTEGA is always good for one of those breakaway dunks, get a steal, breakaway dunk. So we look better defensively. But um, what about the offense as we got into the second half without Lamont Butler? Did you like?
I liked having our. I liked even though we didn't have Lamont. I liked we still had our game players in,
Oh yeah, okay.
and
So we had the OTEGA Brea, we had the big guys in there.
mhm,
Okay,
and I saw lots of great passing the whole
good
game.
ball
The whole
movement.
game.
Yeah, it was good ball movement most of the game. Um, we saw a lot of Brandon Garrison minutes. I don't know that I was expecting that. Maybe because Lamont was out and he has the ability to guard fears at the top, and use his length. But yeah, we saw some great passing from Amari Williams. I don't think Brandon Garrison sees the floor as well as Amari does. You saw there were some plays that there were to be had that Brandon Garrison kind of held on to the ball. But he had some big plays, and even that 3-point shot at the top of the key in the second half that he missed, that's the one that you want him to take, right? Like he's open on a kick out. That's the one you want him to take. I thought we got massive minutes from Trent Noah. Wasn't he didn't play a lot of minutes, but I know when they were talking about it on the live broadcast, he had 6 rebounds and he only had like a couple minutes of play, which was massive for him. He's that's what he does, like the hustle minutes. Ansley got some massive minutes, right? I mean, he
Yes.
had some those buckets. You wouldn't look at the stat sheet and go, oh wow, but those plays that he made, hitting that open jumper, that cut and getting the layup, disrupting, getting offensive rebounds, and you can even credit him for the ball we got back when it put off the player's hands. He was just there to contest. Overall, it was a great win. Without Lamont Butler, I don't know if you'll agree, but without Lamont Butler, I think Carr's go-to dude. I'm sorry, Pope's go-to dude is Carr. He's the steady Eddie. He's so talented, especially when you get him can get a mismatch and use the pick and roll game or use their multiple cuts to get him on a lesser, smaller dude. And what he does in the paint is big. Um, but outside of OTEGA, he's the clear player of the game. Outside of OTEGA, who do you think the player of the game was for Kentucky?
Um, that's a tough one.
It's tough.
I, I might say Car.
Okay, Carr. I agree. I think Carr is great. I'm gonna pick, since you pick Carr, I'm gonna pick Brea because I really thought Brea was gonna have to pick up his game and not just be a 3 point specialist and not be a dude who can just get hot from three and that his game. That is his game, but we need him to step up in that as best he can in the Jackson Robinson role, and he needs to be a multi-level scorer. And you saw him; he's not the same sort. He's not a great ball handler, but he has improved throughout the season. The fact that he can get to the cup, and you even said it. What'd you say when he made that little floater that bounced around the rim and it went in? What'd you call it?
Shooter's
The
touch.
shooter's touch, right? Yeah, he just has that soft touch where that'll drop for him. If he can score around the rim, that's gonna be big for us. All in all, um, we went from thinking we blew that game to Otega away saving it for us, right? And he has been the savior for us. And with if Lamont Butler, let's talk about the sad part now. We talked about, remember last show, Lamont Butler was the guy, right? He was the guy who's going to carry us to deep run NCAA tournament. And they said
He's
that
questionable.
he was questionable. He was out for the game, right? But they very distinctly said, or very specifically said, he's only out for this game. Now, I know the chatter on the internet and some group chats is not good, saying that it's potentially going to keep Lamont Butler from us for a while. We got a chat going. I need to pull this up. I always forget that. And I, I have we as excited as I am with that win. Yeah, I think I will wake up tomorrow. I'll be a little sick to my stomach thinking that we might have seen Lamont Butler play his last game for Kentucky, and I refuse to believe that right now. I don't know how you feel. I don't think I can mentally put myself there to think that we're going to lose our star point guard, the guy who, we're out here in San Diego right now, the guy who came from San Diego State to come, and be that guy at Kentucky and carry us to a Final Four, potentially. Without him on the team, I don't know what our ceiling is, to be honest. Um, what do you think? You think we have the ability to go deep in the NCAA tournament? With OTEGA, OWEH, Brea, Amari Williams, Carr, those guys being it.
Yes, I think so. If we play like we did this game, but just a few adjustments, I think we can definitely get there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy it for $1. I think it's we did play very well in the second half. The last minute collapse is tough to come by, but we trust Coach Pope right in this staff to kind of get us through that. Those are some growing pains, and if you can get a W with defeat kind of right there, like I mean we were losing that game until we weren't, with half a second left. If you can get that, and maybe that's something that drives this team. And maybe they've been playing really well without Jackson Robinson, knowing that he's not coming back. Right, people have stepped up. I think it's really tough to have our primary ball handler, our key guy on defense, to stop the point of attack guy not here. But yeah, why not? Why not be optimistic? One, we're going to see him play for this team again. We pray. And two, if for some reason we don't, we have the talent. We have guys who can step up. We have experienced talent, which is important um, to get us through. So let's go through it and why? Yeah. So Zoe Hub said, "Well, I about thought we lost that." She showed a lot of heart. We did too. But like I said, we were both head in hands. There might have been some watery eyes going on, not just because we're in the garage with a lot of dust. There were some emotions going on. But hey, we got a W, and hey, shout out to Big Blue Nation. We got to make sure we say that. Like that crowd was rocking. You were sitting there. I mean, it almost was like a home game. Um, it looked like 80% of it at Nashville was repping Big Blue, and then afterwards, them sticking around and seeing Coach Pope. If you're watching us and not watching SEC now, they gets me every time. I think that's mom. I think mom's doing that, telling us it's bedtime. But yeah, they were on SEC now doing the interview. Um, but now it's all UK ball. Rando recap after dark, and you got school tomorrow. Yeah, I already asked. You have to go to school tomorrow. Sorry about it, but you can tell all your friends Kentucky won. And if there's any Oklahoma fans in there, just give them one of these and say, "Go Cats! We gonna win tomorrow against Alabama.
Mhm.
We gonna win." The boy said it. We're gonna win. Let's shock the world. As always, go Cats!